The following program is brought to you by Blood, Sweat, Tears, and listeners like you. To support this show and all of the shows within TWiB Nation, consider becoming a subscriber of our pay service, The TWiBularity, at twib.me/subscribe. That's twib.me/subscribe. Or you can give a one-time donation at donate.twib.me. That's donate.twib.me. We've all learned how important media is and who tells our stories. Help us be the media that you want to hear and that the media is afraid to hear. It's kind of hard to listen to yourself become irrelevant.
This is TWiB Nation.
Good afternoon. Today is Wednesday, March 2nd, and today on TWiB Prime, Super Tuesday fallout. Hillary Clinton swept a lot of states, Bernie Sanders, not so much. Oral arguments at the Supreme Court in the biggest abortion case to hit the court in a decade. And we're a little bit concerned about Christie. All this and more with Team Blackness on TWiB Prime.
So from now on, whenever you hear these horns, just know you are now entering the blackness. Collard greens, cornbread, and the catfish. Malcolm X and Dr. King with a blackness. We are live, son. This is blackness. You are now entering the blackness. Stevie Wonder, Marvin Gaye, and the classics. Real love, the opposite of ratchet. We are live, son. This is blackness. When they hit me, they say.
What is going on, people? We are back. This is This Week in Blackness Prime. I am your host, Elon James White. With me, as per usual, is Team Blackness, consisting of Captain, Lieutenant, General, Professor. On occasion, he is some sort of doctor. He is the Negro Jon Snow in our Negro Game of Thrones and proud Fox News correspondent. We have Aaron Rand Freeman, sir.
The dungeon is particularly hard today. I just wanted to be completely honest with you. Like, the dungeon is
First of all, I'm going to need you to stop calling my goddamn control booth a dungeon.
It's
I think
dungeon,
that's rude.
Aaron. It's a dungeon.
It's not a dungeon. I need you to get your shit together,
It's
Aaron.
dungeon shape. It's like
okay. What's the shape of a dungeon, Aaron?
A stone rectangular room with
that.
Not
First
a
of all,
lot of
that is some antiquated dungeon stereotypes that I don't really appreciate, Aaron.
Listen, if you lock the door behind me, like if all of a sudden you just like put the door up and just locked it, and I couldn't get out, I would slowly die in here.
No, you wouldn't.
Which makes this a dungeon.
That's not how dungeons work.
It's a dungeon-like substance.
It is not.
It's cold. It's stone.
It's not that cold.
Damp. There's no light.
It's not damp. You're just making stuff up, Aaron.
I get the occasional spider.
I mean, spiders happen, Aaron. Get that Brooklyn shit out of your mind, Aaron.
If I was in here, I would just be friends with the spider, kind of like Tom Hanks in that volleyball in Castaway. I'd lose
again.
Dungeon.
You have the most technologically advanced dungeon known to man.
That's fine.
I need you to get your shit together, Aaron.
I'm saying if you took the studio out of the dungeon, it's a dungeon.
I mean, you can say that about anything or anywhere.
Yes. Yes. If you ate out of a car, it might be a bowl until you're done eating, and it's a car.
Aaron, you have Aaron. It's fine in there. I need you to stop complaining about.
There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with the dungeon.
I've been in the control booth many times. There's plenty of space. We've worked in it together. I don't know what you're talking about.
What I'm saying
you have that control room all to yourself.
What I'm saying.
Stop. I need you to stop. I need to introduce other people.
What I'm saying.
And so if you're going to talk about your complain about your issues, Aaron.
Well, your problem is that you don't believe dungeons can rehabilitate themselves. I didn't say it was bad. I said that it was a dungeon. Now, dungeons do not imply bad. they imply bad to you. But I think this dungeon's done well for itself.
Negro, really? Really? Are we pretending like you are living up to your Fox News correspondent name right about now? It's like, to you a dungeon is negative. I mean, I didn't say it was negative. I just said it was a dungeon. Like, that's like you said that black people are criminals. I didn't say black people were criminals. I'm just saying people with that skin color rob people a lot. That's what you just said to me, Aaron. Also with us. She's angry, she's black, she's some sort of lady. She's the founder of the Angry Black Lady Chronicles. She is the senior legal analyst here in TWiB Nation. She is the gun jumper in chief and overall problem and a half. We have Amani Gandhi, madam.
I feel like maybe dungeons can rehabilitate themselves.
I don't even know what that means.
It means you start out as a dungeon, but you end up like an illustrious gazebo.
What?
This dungeon became a studio, a bastion of black independent media. So it started out from the bottom, and now it's here. Not unlike the Drake song.
Did you just Drake? You just Drake me?
I Drake the dungeon, and I'm proud of it.
You should be ashamed of everything you represent and stand for, Aaron. I just want you to know that. If I thought it was reasonable and there was a legal recourse, I would dock your pay for that. We do this. Monday. All right. Actually, where's my lawyer hat? Can I dock Aaron pay for that terrible pun?
No.
You're not my lawyer, so booyaka. I like that. I like that. Aaron. I know. Guess what? He back now. So your face.
My face or your face?
I mean,
all of our faces
together. But I don't know if I can get away. We do this Monday through Thursday. We have a docket full of shenanigans, tomfoolery, and what have you. But we have a couple of reminders, Gandhi.
Reminders, you should support TWiB today by going to support.twib.today. That's all I'm going to say because you know it's what you have to do in order to get the independent black media up inside of you. What? Finger snaps.
What? First of all, Aaron, that's just creepy. Do it. That's just creepy, Aaron. That's just like so. First, you're yelling about being in a goddamn a dungeon, and then you're from your quote unquote dungeon. You're whispering, "Do it."
Now, first of all, do it. I don't understand exactly how it is that you're creepy whispering. Like this is like, why am I being judged for being creepy whispering? I'm just telling people to support independent black media.
Do it.
Do it. That's just creepy, and stop abusing the goddamn banners across the screen, Aaron. I need you we get banners, we get some goddamn lower thirds in this mother, and Aaron just like boop, 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 boop. That's my impression of Aaron back there. I mean, I assume that's when he does when he's not masturbating. I assume that's what happens back there.
Now I don't know if that joke works the same with this person here.
I'm sorry, what?
There's a person here.
What are you talking about?
There's this person here next to me. You can't make masturbation in the booth jokes when there's a person in the place.
I don't know what you're... What?
This person right
Aaron,
here.
Aaron...
Why are you holding... You got a hostage in there?
Aaron, there's no one in the room with you. Like first of all, you're complaining. Now you're making up imaginary people in the room with you.
You know people can see the people in the
Aaron, I don't see anyone in the room.
That's well, I have to... All right. We'll discuss going forward.
I mean, perhaps there's a ghost of light skin past in the room with you, but I don't know. Ooh. Like, what's? By the way, I love the fact that Amani
crushed it.
That literally just wasn't paying attention to any shape, form, or fashion before the show. We had a conversation about the whole thing.
We did.
I was working.
We had a little football huddle. We call a little audible before the show. We were like, hey, we're gonna have a running gag where I point out the person in the booth.
I did not hear any of that. I was working. I had my headphones on.
Oh my god.
And then and then Elon was like, I'm going.
And you laughed. That's the point. You literally laughed at the joke.
I'm sure I did. I wasn't paying attention though. I had work to do. I'm sorry. It was a big day for me.
You didn't have your headphones on at that point.
I didn't have my what?
You didn't have your headphones on at that point.
What? I didn't.
You did not have your headphones on.
Maybe you were speaking in that high volume, which I can't hear.
I'm pretty sure it was not. That's not the voice I use for when I'm doing planning meetings.
Planning me. I was sitting here the whole time. Tippity type.
We do. Do you have any? Are you going to remind anybody of anything else?
I'm going to remind you that I was over here tippity typing.
Oh my god.
Typing. I'm a tippity typist.
Do it. What happened, Aaron? What happened to your creepiness?
Do it.
Oh god. Yes. Now that Amani has completely ruined the gag.
I ruined the gag, but really, you're doing visual gags on an audio podcast. I mean, come on,
Madam, man. We are a multi-platform podcast.
Are we?
Are we? Yes, we are.
Versatility is the name of the game here.
Is it?
We're Negroes. We can't just have an audio podcast. We always got to do like twice as much to get half as far.
You gonna do a virtual reality podcast?
I mean, holograms in your house.
Holograms in your house. Holla! Don't be hollering at the holograms in your house. What?
I would like to call them Negrograms or Hollow Negroes.
Hollow Negroes. That's a good one.
Hollow Negroes. Yeah, I'm telling you right now. As soon as I find out what Hollow Negro technology would work, you think I wouldn't be on it? You think I wouldn't be like, how can we just like hologram into people's places? The young lady behind Aaron is actually
what young lady?
It's too late, Amani. God, Amani just the absolute worst. Like I thought Eljoy was a joke killer. Eljoy used to be like the murderer, the mass murderer of jokes. Amani just sometimes like, what? I can't even tell you guys how many jokes over the years Amani has just shot down, and I just didn't acknowledge. And we talked about it beforehand. I'm like, hey, so this thing, and Amani comes out like, what? I don't know why we're doing that. What's happening?
It's a totally different style too, because Eljoy would be like, we're gonna tell a joke, and then at the end of it, Eljoy would be like, I don't get it, and blow it all up. You'd be like, I heard this, I heard that, I understand the punchline, I know you, I don't get it. And then you have to stop talking. But Amani just walks through it. She's sitting there on her tablet, and she just kicks
What's happening? Why are you doing that? Clearly there's another human being in the frame, Elon. Elon, I don't understand your humor. Jesus Christ. I'm so tired. We do this Monday through Thursday, and we have a docket full of shenanigans, tomfoolery. Please remember that we are still taking, we are going to actually run our TWiB.me/explain. That's the URL. Go there. TWiB.me/explain. What?
Haven't we run out of fans?
What? No.
At this point, like it's been like 2 months.
No, I mean, first of all, I at first people weren't doing, but like people started doing them later. Actually, one day, if I don't have a day where I'm running around trying to make shit work, I will actually put some of the clips up so we can show folks what it is. It's good. It's a good thing. We're gonna show it. Magic will happen. Also, I would like to have to. I'm announcing a brand new thing. I don't think we're going to be doing it immediately. But for those of you who were watching yesterday, we made the announcement that we were putting politics aside, and we're tired of this whole election bullshit. We're doing it only on Tuesdays. And I quickly realized that was not the best idea. I mean, actually, it's an amazing idea. But the fact is that some people, actually, a great deal of people look at us as a news organization. I know with these people, these problematic, the masturbating Negro, and then what's that, McGee? You wouldn't know that we're news professionals, but a lot of people look at us for news. So I realized that we're probably going to have to talk about elections stuff somewhat outside of Tuesdays. So two things is going to happen in order for us to alleviate some of this tension of election, because I'm a little tired of it on this show as well. Two things. One, we're now not going to talk about election stuff outside of Election Tuesdays. We're actually going to make an Election Tuesday segment on the show that can only last whatever amount of time that we're deciding at that moment. And today, we thought a good number was 10 minutes. The maximum amount of time that we can talk about the election stuff is 10 minutes. And there'll be a timer and all that good shit. And so we won't go past that. And in order to make sure that we're fulfilling our duty here to be a professional news space, I am proud to announce that we will be having our next spinoff of TWiB Prime, which at the moment we are affectionately referring to it as TWiB Prime Election Shit. And it might just be TWiB Prime Elections, like SVU, like Law and Order SVU, to Prime Elections. And that will be hosted by TWiB's political director, L. Joy Williams, and myself.
L. Joy Williams.
Okay, really?
Political strategist.
So we're getting a little offshoot?
Yes, we're actually. So leading up into the election, really? Can I even announce? You don't even know. You're not even paying attention. And now you don't.
Yeah, political director L. Joy Williams is going to have her own spin-off show, which talks about politics and shit.
And
who wasn't listening now?
What? Still didn't make up for the not listening earlier. Well, so the point is, TWiB Prime Elections will be premiering next week, I believe on Tuesday, if everything goes according to plan. And we will actually be having conversations around the election, specifically around electoral politics. It'll be national and local. We'll be highlighting certain spaces, and it'll be a good time. I think that it's a really great use of L. Joy's expertise and skills, and at the same time, it's providing the election coverage that I feel like is just overbearing in this space, and it will give it its own space to flourish and go forth and be merry and educate the masses.
To flower, blossom like a flower.
Flower and blossom like a flower.
Morning dew.
A true product of independent black media.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. I forget how independent we are at times, Aaron. Because what happened was I was sitting there going like, shit, I think we have to talk about politics. Wait, why not just make a new show about politics? Hey, political director, you want to do some politics shit? She's like, word. And that was it. There was no like setup or like laying out whatever. No,
she tested a shot with a baby, and then we knocked it out, and we're ready to go.
Yeah, that's it. That's the power when you run your own shit. Always remember that. So.
It's your own fault for making a catchy song. You wrote the song.
It's so damn catchy.
It's not like a Coldplay song. It's your song.
I mean, it's my song. I mean, please note, just because I'm talented doesn't mean that you have to sing it at me during my show.
Why not? It's awesome.
I have shit to do and I have to host a show. Amani.
What?
Why don't you hit our docket?
Okay.
Did you consider that?
All right.
Do you think it's just a possibility?
So maybe? We're gonna do our 10 minutes now?
No, I mean, do you want to start the show with the 10-minute clip? A 10-minute political clip.
Let's start with the big news of the day, which
Okay.
is ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba.
By the way, don't you like how Imani was like, hey, should we start to 10 minutes? I said, okay, Imani, if you want to do that. And she was like, you know what? Never mind. I want to do something else. Like, literally, she changed her. She asked me.
I'm a grown-ass woman with my own
We are
thoughts.
it is a
I
show.
can change my mind
my
if
God.
I want to change my mind.
I understand you are an independent black woman, but I'm an independent black engineer, and things are numbered. And when things are all willy-nilly, and I start hitting the wrong numbers, then Elon comes in the back, and I get choked like Bart Simpson. And
All right, fine. Let's do the 10 minutes.
No. You want to do what you want to do?
All right,
What
fine.
you
We're
wanna
going to talk about abortion then. Because
Of course you want to talk about abortion.
me ladies with the abortion. Today was oral arguments in Whole Woman's Health v. Hellerstedt, which is it's basically the biggest abortion case to hit the Supreme Court in a decade. The last big case that the court heard was in 2007. This one relates to the gnarly, horrible omnibus abortion bill HB2 out of Texas, which requires two things. It requires a whole shitload of things, but the two things that were at issue in this lawsuit: one, the requirement that doctors maintain admitting privileges at a hospital within 30 miles of the location where the abortion is performed, and two, that abortion clinics meet the standard of ambulatory surgical centers. In other words, that abortion clinics have to basically be mini hospitals, and they have to expend the millions of dollars that it costs to retrofit clinics into being essentially mini hospitals. The oral arguments played out much as I thought that they would. You had basically the women on the court, Kagan, Ginsburg, and Sotomayor, who were basically hounding the attorneys for Texas about what the hell the point of these Texas laws is. Texas keeps saying, oh, it's about patient safety. But it's not really about patient safety because I think at one point Texas had something like 42, 43 abortion clinics. Now they have 10, which is silly. Because there are something like 1 million people in Texas of reproductive health age, and not all of them can get to a clinic, and most of them live about 150 to 200 miles away from a clinic, which, when you take into account all of the other restrictions that Texas have with respect to abortion care, like the 48-hour waiting period, like forced counseling, like forced ultrasounds, a 200-mile trip can turn into a several-day-long affair requiring hotel stays and car transportation, gas money, finding someone to watch over your kids while you try and go terminate the pregnancy that you are currently pregnant with because you ain't got enough money to raise any more goddamn kids.
All I heard, Imani, throughout that entire thing was you want to murder babies.
Well, I mean, look, there's a murdered baby deficiency. Clearly, Planned Parenthood is selling baby parts, and those baby parts have to come from somewhere.
top flight white baby parts.
I mean, Texas has some of the best white baby parts in the nation. A lot of they have like pulled baby parts, pulled baby parts with barbecue sauce on them.
They're delicious if you fry them.
They're so good. Well, I've heard the fried ones, like only the white ones.
Fried white babies are, in fact.
I don't know. I think with the black babies, you want to
first of all, that's racist. How dare you?
What? No, you're spit roasting.
No, that's racist. I will not accept that.
Well, what do you do with the black? Eat them tartar?
No, the black babies we let them go in the wilderness like Bambi.
Like Mowgli, just growing up,
raised by a bunch of animals. There's certain wooded areas you go around, and it's just a bunch of little black babies going. That's it. That's all they're doing there. But the white babies, we fry them up, and it's actually our next venture.
But what was great about the oral arguments is I have to give a special shout out to Justice Breyer because I often forget about Justice Breyer.
I'm sorry, did you like, yo, I just want to give a shout out to Justice Breyer up in his mother. Hey, yo, what up, Justice? Keeping it real.
I didn't do all that. But I often forget about Justice Breyer because he's just sort of the reliable white male vote that, he's the part of this quartet of liberals that include Kagan, Ginsburg, and Sotomayor. And he's just like sort of the random white guy who's always voting with these liberal women. But today he has some really poignant questions, questions that really get to the heart of what the hell is the point of HB2? And that is, for example, so existing law in Texas requires that abortion clinics have hospital transfer agreements. So if there's a complication, you just transfer the patient to the hospital and they take it from there. This new law, this admitting privilege law, makes it so much more difficult for doctors to perform abortions because in order to do so, they have to have admitting privileges, and a lot of the hospitals don't want to give out admitting privileges to abortion doctors because they hate abortion doctors. So it's turned into this really difficult, trying thing to where there's like one doctor, Dr. Lynn, who is supposed to be doing doing like, I don't know, all of the abortions within like a 200-mile radius. And at one point someone asked, so what, are we supposed to just make this particular doctor an indentured slave because we can't get other doctors to be able to perform these procedures because no one will give them hospital privileges? It's absurd. But what Justice Breyer pointed out is that, so can you give me the names of any of the women that have benefited from this admitting privileges law that would not have benefited from the existing transfer agreement law? No.
So
The lawyer couldn't.
Amani,
So shout out to Justice Breyer. What?
I really appreciate you bringing this story to the table and doing this segment. I would have appreciated it more when I said, "Hey, do you have a segment that you want to specifically do?" And you said, "Nah, I mean, I'll mention it, but I don't have much to say." And then immediately, because I was like, "Amani, we can make sure graphics or whatever happening." And I was like, "Nah." And then all of a sudden she's like, "And now, here's a full on thing," and it looks like we just like ignored Amani. Like there was none of the bells and whistles that we've been at. Amani just was talking about it.
You don't need bells and whistles when I'm on a tear.
Okay, I'm gonna need you to calm down.
No bells and whistles.
In her defense, when she's going on something that is, I believe her average is about 27 minutes when she gets going. So she didn't take half an hour. So she was like, "Hey, no big thing." Now she took 7 minutes. That's a segment, an hour-long show.
That's a segment.
I mean, we got.
I come to Amani.
Your face is a segment.
I come to Amani. Amani.
Your face is a segment.
Amani, let's just tell me what you need, whatever. Like let's. Amani just.
I can just talk, man. It's just my personal TED talk.
I mean,
my personal Elon talk. Can we have Elon talks where I just talk for an hour?
No, there's not going to be Elon talks. There might at some point. I'm hoping that there'll be a This Year in Blackness talks that happen. I'm in the middle of trying to figure out the best way to make that work. But that's something that if you can do a talk there, but also you're gonna have to let me know before.
Are we gonna have Blackness Con?
Because it's not gonna be Black. It's gonna be called This Year in Blackness, Aaron, not Blackness Con.
Why can't it be Blackness Con?
Because that's why you are not in charge of branding, Aaron.
It's called This Week in Blackness. Having Blackness Con just rolls off the tongue and hits the ear right. Hey, Ghost, doesn't it hit the ear right?
Hey, Ghost.
Ghost, I wouldn't go with him. I'm just saying.
Now you're in a tough spot, Ghost. Don't worry about it.
Ghost, I would come with me. I would come with me. Not the point, though. Aaron's not in charge of branding. Amani is a problem.
I am not a problem.
What's the next on our docket?
10 minutes of election coverage?
Jesus Christ. Fine. Apparently, Amani is now prepared to do
There's
election.
a lot of stuff. I mean, I don't know.
Oh, my God.
Okay, you go. Fine.
All
do
right.
it.
You said election coverage. I start them, set it up, and then you go, well, we can go all the way. Like, Amani just does not care about, like, structure or format and shit like that. Just, Amani, I'm planning it.
I'm trying to go with, like, verbal cues and, like, Elon set it up because Elon's going to be like, I want things, and then it's supposed to come up on the screen when I hit the button.
And then Amani just like, nah.
And like, you know what, how about the way?
Gun jumper in chief, indeed.
Blah.
All right. So, election Tuesdays. Do I have a graphic?
Yes, we do. We have election Tuesdays.
All right. I need a timer.
All right, we got one of these bad boys.
Boom. All right. 10 minutes. Election coverage. That's all we got. And 3, 2, 1. I'm gonna go.
So the election happened. Super Tuesday was yesterday, and it was like hella fucked up because Bernie Sanders lost a lot of states. He lost a lot of black votes, a ton of black votes. And people on Twitter and in social media were immediately calling black people Uncle Toms. I saw plenty of white people actually calling black people Uncle Toms for voting for Hillary instead of for Bernie. And all I have to say is, don't do that shit.
9 minutes and 37 seconds remaining.
Elon.
Yes, that did happen. Super Tuesday was a win for Hillary. Even though it was what I found really funny was that about halfway through today, all of a sudden the reports were less about what was happening. The reports were like, "So here's the thing: Sanders is not going to have to quit yet." And that was the word. It's like, okay, but that we haven't even gotten through the goddamn election for today, and you're like, "Don't worry, he doesn't have to quit." And a lot of conversation has been around the black vote and the fact that Sanders is not pulling the black vote. And all I can say is, I have no idea why.
Never have imagined
who could have predicted that Sanders would have an issue with the black vote? I don't. Who knew?
It's on us anyway. It's on us for mismanaging.
I mean, really. I mean, if it'd be nice if someone would have said something about this. It would have been nice.
I mean, you could have warned them, Elon. I mean, you're like this media mogul, you know, like you're like a spokesperson for blackness, and you could have told Bernie Sanders or someone in his campaign what they maybe needed to do in order to get the black vote, but instead you stood by and did nothing.
I dropped the ball.
Nothing.
In my life story, this will be a dark moment. Like, this is that behind the music. Like, and then in 2016, Elon James White just refused to ever speak out. And we fell to fascism or Hitler or Trump.
Trump.
Because I refused to stand. And then I'll cut back to me in the studio. I'm like, I just really didn't really think about the outcome of what I was doing at the time. It was rough. I had just gotten off heroin and what? That's why
I was having a baby
behind the music, and my baby was addicted to heroin because like who knew that heroin travels through the sperm to the mama? Like it's just weird. That the baby like was like born with heroin, but like we survived. And little Heroina Jr.
Heroina Jr.
All right.
Oh,
What
no.
is that weird?
You get. All right.
Is that weird? Is that right?
7 minutes and 35 seconds remaining.
So I believe what was it? Hillary won 7. Sanders won 3.
4.
4.
Yeah.
Great. But it's still it's going to be a battle, and Sanders has a shit ton of money. So let's be clear about this. When it comes to money and shit tons,
He has it.
he has all of it.
But
That's
what
the
is
thing.
he doing with it? He's had a shit ton of money for a long time. What
but
he didn't buy?
I think he's holding it.
Did he not buy any? He didn't buy any ads in Virginia.
I mean, is that a fact? I don't know if that's a
I don't know.
fact.
I might just made that
I mean, just Fox Newsing the
Can't
shit out
make
of this,
that stuff
madam.
up. That's my department.
I'm pretty sure I read that somewhere.
Just some, you know what else I read?
You're just
you know
like-
what else I read? I read that white babies are delicious. Guess what? We don't know
That's
it's
a
true.
fact. What?
We don't know
We
it's
don't?
true. That's like,
Oh.
madam.
They're
Never mind.
supple
I don't
and
know anything.
plentiful.
Oh my
There are
God.
so
I know nothing.
many.
Oh my God! So here's the thing about this. So when you talk about him holding money, I mean having all that money and whether or not he's spending it, I think the idea is that he's said flat out he's going to be here for the entire ride. Like so, basically, they're ready to battle delegate for delegate. I guess in Sanders' camp's mind, and I think that's reasonable. I think that the longer the conversation happens, maybe the longer it will. Maybe we will see candidates evolve and become better and stronger candidates. For example, yesterday I believe Massachusetts, Hillary won Massachusetts, right, Amani?
Yeah, she did.
Yes.
So Hillary wins Massachusetts, but you know who never weighed in at all?
Elizabeth.
3 guesses? Elizabeth Warren.
Yeah, weren't they?
And
weren't
they are mad.
Yeah, they were so mad at her.
They're calling for her to be primaried.
What?
Yes.
Because she's like, but that doesn't even make sense to do that. One, why should she? We don't even know if she has decided which way she wants to go. Maybe she's on edge.
Also, a sitting senator
Right.
who's has to choose. Like she's gonna have to work with whomever becomes the eventual nominee. Why would she want her throw her lot in with anyone at this point necessarily?
Well, what I read-
certainly with someone who's.
What I was reading was that apparently they look what Warren's role is going to be the quote unquote healer of the party because basically the idea is that Hillary's going to win. Like 538, I believe put out articles that like Hillary got this. Like literally,
He literally said
which is the
Clinton's got
weirdest headline I've ever
Right.
seen. Like Hillary got this. In all honesty, I don't think that's a good idea. I want Hillary to have to still fight, and I want to be able, folks to be able to pull her left more than they have, and make them have the conversation. And I would still love an actual emergency 100-day plan around the crisis that is Black death in America. And you know what? Neither candidate has still done that.
Yeah, they ain't gonna.
And I mean, it's just like perhaps
I ain't worried about
it would be
black
nice.
folks.
It'd be nice.
Ain't worried about no black people.
But great. But the point, in all of this, I think that it should, in fact, last longer. But they're saying that basically they think that Hillary, for the most part, unless something really wacky occurs, she will wrap up the nomination, and then basically Elizabeth Warren's going to have to come in, and all the Bernie bros Bernie stands. Sorry, I keep trying not to stop saying that. All the Bernie stands that are going to flip the hell out. Warren's going to be like, calm down. Hello, I'm your progressive messiah. I know that you're really waiting for me to say something. We're going to have to come together. And she's going to say it in a British accent. It's going to be really
Why
weird.
is she going to say?
I don't know.
They are done with her. I don't know. She's going to be able to heal the party.
I feel
are
like
mad.
a lot of. I mean, people are mad. But it's.
But then again, you have to think about it this way. The people who are in the political sphere of Twitter are a very small percentage of the electorate.
Yes.
So I feel like if you look at any given Bernie Sanders tweet, it'll have 34,000 retweets, and it makes you think, oh wow, Bernie Sanders is really on a tear. But there's something like 1% of people in the world that are on Twitter. I have no idea what percentage of Americans are on Twitter, and then within that, what percentage of Americans are on Twitter who participate heavily in the political sphere. It's not that many. So I feel like we get a little bit of the echo chamber problem when we're on Twitter. because a lot of people aren't.
Luckily, I don't listen. I don't listen to all my views from Twitter. I look at other things.
Do you?
Like that. It's weird.
What?
It's weird.
3 minutes.
But yes,
seconds.
so that's what Elizabeth Warren. They're looking. It's supposedly that's going to be her role, but at the same time, for her to do that, especially for Hillary's the nominee, she's gonna make some demands. And I'm actually like, I'm good. Like, let's see what demands come out of that. Again, what I really would like is for them to have to slug it out and just move both candidates to a place that where maybe I wouldn't have my stomach flipping just because I have to vote for one of them. But what's interesting is that apparently during the election, because at the same time Trump basically won on the Republican side. I think Trump had 7, Cruz had 2, and then Rubio had 1. I believe, if that's correct. And so apparently Google put out there was a Google searches, and they said that searches for how to move to Canada spiked yesterday. Because the reality is there is a solid goddamn chance we're gonna have a Republican nominee Trump, but at the same time, I think that what we're going to see is the most magnificent of Republican conventions you've ever seen, because people aren't going to let it ride. I don't think that Rubio or Rubio. I don't know. Just walk away, Rubio. What are you even doing anymore? I mean, everyone still thinks that everyone's going to throw behind him, but no, and it's not happening. Here's the thing: they're not going to they can't let Trump go. They can't. If Trump is the Republican candidate, he's like a stereotype of what the Republican candidate would be. He might as well be the Monopoly guy. You know what I mean? Like, just like with a top hat on and just like and talking about mortgages and shit. Like, he's the epitome of the 1%, and that is what's going to be leading the Republican Party. And just like I think they even know that we can't do this. We gotta stop something. So whatever political move they can do to mess with delegates or like contested conventions. I mean, it hasn't been happening in quite some time, but like maybe this is the time, Amani.
If the Republicans do pull a move like that, there's going to be a huge uprising because people really, really like Donald Trump.
Do they like Donald Trump, or do they dislike everyone else? I feel as if just like every time we talk about when as children we're taught that if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything else at all. Because like sometimes what you're doing is you're running on hatred, like how a lot of people watch news media. They don't like the CNN or MSNBC, but they watch it to hate on it. You know what I mean? And so but they still want to know things, but they hate at it. I'm thinking that people don't necessarily like Trump, but at the same time they're like, he's not these mother effers over here. Like anything besides what we're normal to do. Like if we take Trump to explode the party and then we can actually have some change, so be it. 35 seconds, go.
I think that people actually really do like Donald Trump. I really don't think it's a backlash against Rubio or Cruz or whomever. I think
I was not against them. I'm talking about the Republican establishment. I mean, government in general, and they feel as if the Republicans, even when they stop stuff, they aren't doing enough. I don't even
know if they're really smart enough to think that deep. I think
okay.
They're just
Hey, no, that's rude. I mean, some people aren't bright.
Is it? I mean, we've seen the video of these white people pushing around the black woman. Like, you think those people are really deep thinkers? No.
That poor black woman got pushed around, and it was unreasonable and unfair. And I just. Fuck Trump. And we're done. Thank you, Aaron. All right. We'll get it off the screen. We're not doing that anymore.
That's right. No more of this. No more of this.
Done.
Elon.
Silly.
Elon.
What's going on, Amani?
Tell us stuff.
We have some stories that have nothing to do with the election whatsoever.
Oh, dear God, do we ever? The one thing that we hadn't talked about yet was this teen who was posing as a doctor and was busted for running a fake medical practice. Can we talk about him for just a minute?
I'm sorry. I did. I saw that. I just saw the headline and the picture, and I laughed, and I just kept going. I'm just like, I don't even understand how that happened.
Yeah, it's a real quick story, and then we can move on to other things.
Okay.
But there's this kid, 18-year-old kid named Malaki Love Robinson. He's listed as the CEO, president, and founder of New Birth, New Life Medical Center and Urgent Care in Palm Beach. Except for the only problem is he has no medical credentials, never went to medical school, isn't licensed. And so the Palm Beach Narcotics Task Force, an undercover agent with the Palm Beach Narcotics Task Force, went to go see him, visit his medical office for an exam. And during the visit, this 18-year-old kid provided medical advice. And so he was arrested, booked on the charge of practicing medicine without a license. The Department of Health served him a cease and desist notice. And it's kind of like one of those questions where it's like, Black excellence?
Imani, there's no black excellence in this. I mean, if there was a hustle hard award.
And as someone, I understand that it's against the law to do that, but I'm also someone that has looked at job interviews that are like the job postings that are like, this job requires 12 years of experience, but the average age of everyone who they want to apply is like 19. So, I've seen that. So like the gate sometimes is pretty locked. So you just dig a hole under it.
No, okay. Let me just have a moment here and remind everyone here. We do not co-sign people pretending to be doctors randomly.
That shit was funny though.
It's not black excellence. If there's a hustle hard award, congrats, sir. You hustle hard. You started your own goddamn medical thing. But you know what? You should also be locked up. God, what if people died from his care?
I'm not saying it's the greatest.
And we didn't say that.
I wasn't saying like give the kid.
We can't have the same episode where we praised the deliciousness of fried white baby, and we're like, Negroes don't even get a medical degree. Just open your shit up. Black excellence, which was on the body just did.
I didn't say black excellence. I said black excellence. It was a question.
Listen, we are not saying that what he did was right. We're saying what he did was very funny, and we reserve the right.
In all honesty, it's not funny. Even if we laugh, if someone died, just keep.
It's also not funny because he was a gynecologist, so that's kind of creepy.
What? Yeah, that's the part. I didn't even get that deep into it. See, yeah, exactly, Aaron. Imagine your girlfriend rolls up at the OBGYN for some dude who's not even a goddamn OBGYN dude. Like, I don't think you'd be too pleased.
Some 18-year-old kid peering in your wife's vagina.
Right. I pulled an Elon. I was just like, I guess he was. I thought he was just giving people basic checkups, being like, all right, here's some Tylenol.
Why did you think that? And why is that pulling an Elon?
Because you just said you just glossed over the story.
Okay, yeah, but that's not pulling an Elon. I did that once. Don't frame that shit like that. That's pulling an Aaron right there. Just saying shit.
That's what I'm here for.
Really, don't say that. Yeah. But yeah, I don't. It's not okay. It's not. I mean, I might have laughed just because it's like, holy crap, that's ridiculous. But I'm laughing at the absurdity of it, not the actual thing that happened, because it's just
it's absurd.
God forbid something actually happened to somebody. Someone died. Someone didn't get the health care that they needed because they thought they were being seen. We don't. I mean, anything could have happened in that situation. So I'm actually like, I really do think it's not okay, and it's not black excellence. It's not even black excellence. Like it's not any of those.
It's not a little bit. It's fine.
It's not. But we do have a story that I feel like is not getting enough attention.
Let's talk about it.
So there was a crisis event that occurred that I feel as if media and the way they do completely and totally is dropping the ball on it and isn't highlighting the true victim of this particular crisis. Mm-hmm. Yesterday, Donald Trump, when he was winning his the spaces that he was running in, had a surrogate come out, which was New Jersey's own Christie. Aaron, play a clip of that.
1 second.
Excellent.
Chris, thank you very much. I appreciate it. This has been an amazing evening. Already we've won 5 major states, and it looks like we could win 6 or 7 or 8 or 9. It's really been
pull back. So if you actually, really Aaron, I want you to go back to that, and I want you to pause the screen right there. I want you to pause the screen, because what you see there when as Trump is talking and you see Christie, you see that something's not right. Someone's in trouble. Christie's eyes are darting all over the place. He's looking down, he's looking up. It's just clearly there's trouble in Trumpadice. No, that's not a rewind the shot just a little bit, Aaron. Okay. And because that's not like that. He's clapping there. But like when you see his eyes, it became an instant meme. People were using vines and shit all over the internet talking about Christie's face. And I know you might be thinking, Elon, you said election talk was only in the 10-minute slot. This is not election talk. This is a hostage situation. This is someone who is in need of deep help, and we are, as a nation, are failing him. Oh, someone go get Christie.
Oh, you're talking.
And where's my graphic?
Are you talking about this face?
Oh my God. Oh my God. All right. There's also vines. We should have grabbed one of the vines, because it's amazing just the look on his face, because he's looking around and he has that moment where he just realizes. What have I done? What have I thrown behind? I mean, I just don't understand. Where's my graphic? I don't understand. I talked to Aaron. We set up graphics. Aaron just, oh, look, there's a graphic. You want to play with graphics, but you don't want to use real graphics? That's what you get from masturbating in that room, Aaron. It's rude when there's another person in there as well.
You can't masturbate around other
I don't
people.
know what you're doing in there, Aaron. I know that there wasn't a graphic. That's all I know.
Okay, thank you for that, sir.
Point is, that dude, something is wrong. That dude is haunted. Look at his eyes. Like it was not a good time. And please note, I get it. A lot of people are like, he deserves whatever he gets. He's just a big bully. And I think that's what makes it worse for me, Imani, is that because we know of Christie as being this gigantic douchebag, this bully, and seeing the vacant stare in his eyes, like even look down at the graphic there of his face, he looks haunted. He looks like he realizes that he's done everything wrong. Like he got to this point and he's literally bow-dowing to someone he would have never co-signed. Like he said he wasn't even gonna co-sign Trump, and now he's done it. He's kissed the ring. Now he's going around introducing the motherfucker. That's one. And it must. Yes, does he deserve it? Absolutely, but we need to get him out. We got, just because he was a douchebag, do we let him just stay? His family is clearly held hostage somewhere. Amani, where is his family?
Probably at a Bruce Springsteen concert. I don't know.
Bruce Springsteen concert or inside Donald Trump's basement?
With Bruce Springsteen.
Or Donald Trump has dudes outside of his house. I feel like Trump rolled up on Christie and gave him his phone and said, hey, look at that phone. And Christie opened up the phone and looked at it, and it was just a picture, video of his family. He was like, what's that? He goes that's happening right now. Call your wife. And he calls his wife, and he sees the phone ring on the thing. Like, oh my God, what do you want? You'll be endorsing me. And you'll be rolling around the country saying how great I am and how I will bring the whole country and its party together. That's what you're going to do, and you're going to shut the entire fuck up afterwards. That's too. And Chris is just, okay. Because if that's not exactly what's happening, if perhaps my hostage theory is incorrect here, you have to have that moment to think about all the times Christie has been an absolute dickhole to people in press conferences, to people going when they having those town halls and that they were complaining to him and him just shutting them down, just being an utter dick. And the idea was that Christie was a straight shooter. He was just a tough guy. Now he just tells it like it is, and that was going to be his appeal in the Republican Party, which basically Donald Trump undercut completely. But if that was the appeal, but now we see that he is being punked like the biggest punk ass I've seen in quite some time. So all of that other bullshit was in fact pure bullshit. He wasn't a tough guy. He wasn't a straight shooter. He was actually he was a bully, as people have said numerous times. He's always been a bully. And as soon as he met a bigger bully, he backed the fuck down. That's 3. And now is being punked and paraded around the country like a punk ass. Congrats. FYI, Amani.
Yes, sir.
Did you know that 6 newspapers in New Jersey came together to release an editorial demanding that Christie resign?
Yeah.
Do you know that New Hampshire, in New Hampshire, the paper that actually endorsed Christie, the editorial board released another thing, and they said, well, we messed up.
Oh, no.
And they actually took the endorsement back.
Oh, damn.
They said that watching him kiss the ring of Trump, that means that he was not the person they thought he was.
Yeah, well.
This is... here's why I'm thinking his family is being held. Trump has guards outside, with guns and blow darts and shit.
I actually think he's just making a gamble. He's gambling. If Donald Trump wins, then he's got a seat at Donald Trump's table.
This is a
and then he can be one of the people that actually formulates policy, because Lord knows Donald Trump is not going to concern himself with actual sitting around doing meetings and shit. He's going to be less involved than George Bush was as president.
This might be his chance for a true. We see this happen on Game of Thrones and Spartacus and all that. Now you make a play for the throne, and I don't think it's gonna work out.
Yeah, but think about it.
This is a House of Cards move. This is the worst House of Cards move I've seen in a long time.
It's actually not, because if you look at Donald Trump is sweeping the table, right? Unless the Republicans do something that is out of convention for them, which is completely blow up the party and run Marco Rubio as a third candidate or something. Unless something really crazy happens at the Republican National Convention, then we're looking at Donald Trump. If Donald Trump is able to win, then Christie has a seat at that table. And then maybe Chris Christie's vying for VP, and then all of a sudden Chris Christie's VP, and then he can run for president after 8 years. I mean, it's not that crazy of a gamble. It's just that he's making that gamble on Donald Trump. And why are you doing that? But he is the front runner right now.
Here's why I'm saying it's not the greatest gamble, Amani.
Yeah.
Yes, everything you said is absolutely factual. I argue nothing about it. My pride wouldn't let me do that. My soul. Like if I saw the House of Cards, and actually, I'm going to be honest with y'all. I've seen the House of Cards move. That would move us forward, move me forward, move TWiB forward or whatever. And all I had to do was eat some serious shit. Just eat, and it's like what I consider myself, what I think of myself when I think of me or my own brand and who I am. I would have to basically just throw it down and just like step on it and then throw some salt on it and then eat it. Ew. And I was like,
salt's why you put
nah.
salt on it.
I mean, because like your soul being destroyed needs a little salt. It's kind of bland. Clearly white people cooked it. So,
oh damn!
How did we swerve all the way across 3 lanes to shade white people's seasoning?
Actually, it was the joke there was the idea that white people seasoned food is sometimes known as bland, but white people also seasoned the reason why my soul just died. It was layered.
Like your shit.
Thanks guys for making me have to explain that. So point is, there have been situations where the House of Cards move and I would have just had to eat it, and I eat it for like a year or two, and then everything will be great. And I was just like, I'd rather build it myself. Go F yourself. I'm not doing it. And like I said, Christie's brand was tough, guys, straightforward. I do what I gotta do. I tell it how it is, and it's like you tell it like it. What? You are a. I don't hope your family is kidnapped, but if your family's kidnapped, at least I understand.
I mean, I suggest just to play a little devil's advocate. I mean, he has been stagnant in the water. He's been floating in the water stagnant for a few years now. I mean,
it's not this bad. Bridgegate was bad, and it should and honestly, I thought it would have hit him a little bit harder. But I mean, clearly it must have done something. That's why he wasn't able to rack up anything during this whole election thing. He was just failing basically, and even when he took out Rubio, he still fell out himself. So I felt like he could have come up with something else.
Well, that's my point.
Go back. Just shut up. Go back. He already said he's going back to private sector. So just like run your state like a boss. Go make $800,000 to speak every time you go out, and and have your dignity.
Well, you say that you do your own stuff, and it's worth noting that you're actually quite good at your job. Like you design graphics like this graphics. You direct shows like this show here. So when you're like, I want to do it myself, it actually is pretty. It works out pretty well for you. However, Chris Christie is kind of a chowderhead. He's limited, especially if for him to elevate would require him to not be a chowderhead.
I thought. He does a lot. He did a lot of froggy stuff in Jersey, but I thought he was considered competent. He just was considered just terrible.
Yeah, that's the
competent. You can be terrible for what people a lot of people want, and still be a competent legislator. You know what I mean, Monty?
Yes, I do know what you mean.
Thanks, Monty. All right, what else is on the docket? I'm not even doing this anymore. Someone go find Christie's family. For the love of God, help him.
Help him, help you.
I mean, I'm not, no, but what? Yeah.
Okay.
Amani.
Yes, ma'am, sir.
I need a story, Amani.
Do we want to talk about the 3 Muslim
Well,
American?
that would be great. Why don't you break that down?
Damn, why are you so... I don't think I like your attitude, sir. Why don't you dial it back a bit? Show some respect to your elders.
What was that? I just said...
Your name is on the screen. It's time for you. It's time for news time.
Okay, so Indiana...
just problematic
there
show.
were 3 execution-style murders in Indiana of 3 young Muslim American men. They were black men. No one's really talking about it in mainstream media. Governor Mike Pence hasn't said shit about it, which I guess is par for the course for Governor Mike Pence. But the 3 men, 23-year-old Mohammed Omar, 20-year-old Adam Mekki, and 17-year-old Mohamed TWiB were found dead in a house in Fort Wayne, Indiana. The men hailed from Africa's Eastern Sahel region. They had all been shot multiple times. The police said that they don't believe that the murders are gang-related. And the killings came the same week that other mass shootings in the U.S. got a lot of widespread coverage, but this particular one did not. There's multiple layers here, because on the one hand you've got Islamophobia, on the other hand you've got anti-blackness, and one thing we don't talk a lot about when we talk about the sort of siege that Muslims are under in this country right now, thanks in no part due to Donald Trump. But we don't really talk a lot about the ways in which Islamophobia intersects with anti-blackness. And
I mean,
I think that's
and that's something that like I would like for us to weigh in a bit more about, because I believe we've said it, but I don't think we've gone into detail about it. The idea that when that Islamophobia, there is that intersection. I believe we talked about the fact that like I grew up in Brooklyn. And so Muslims were always a part of my life. Like the idea, like the Muslims as this outside place trying to destroy. I'm like, what are you talking about? You mean the dudes down the corner at the mosque, and they give us the final call and other stuff. So that's the Muslim that I kind of thought of. You know what I mean?
It took so long before I even realized that Muslims weren't black. Like they were
because there's a lot of Muslims. There are a lot of Muslims that are black.
They were
right.
all black.
Right. I mean, because that's a separation, like with like the idea of like the Nation of Islam type Muslim, and then like Muslims that are there are different veins, just like in every religion, there's different types. But I think that's something that a lot of times we miss out. And the idea that three folks got murdered execution style, and there's just very little talk about it. It's like, if three white kids the same age that happened to, this would be a little bit of a thing, wouldn't it? Like if three young kids, I mean, they're not young. They were 23, 20, and 17. But if that happened and they were white, good old white Christians, I believe it would be a national tragedy. Or have we just gotten to the point where shooting just doesn't matter anymore? You died by gunshots? I ain't gonna do. Like, is this? I asked this question seriously, Imani and Aaron. Is this Islamophobia and anti-blackness, or is this literally America resigning itself to the fact that people are going to die tragically by gunshots on a regular basis, and we just have to deal?
Well, I'd argue that we feel we resigned ourselves to caring only about a few people. So when you're Muslim and black, that's too many strikes for us to be digging around trying to see who shot you, even if it was execution style, which should raise a lot of eyebrows. But I feel like I said, there's two strikes against the entire situation. America cares sort of kinda about some of these problems, sort of a little bit.
Imani? So, Imani, just in case you don't know, this is a TV show.
I know it's a TV show.
When I say something to you, and you that's like, we can see you, Imani.
I know you can see me, but I didn't know what to do because you caught me with a question I'm not prepared to answer at the moment. So please go back to Aaron. Thank you.
All right. All right.
Look, man, I'm sorry. It's a hard day for me. I'm trying to edit stuff, get stuff published on HP2. It's a thing. Sometimes shit happens.
She got the hustle.
I'm trying to multitask. Trying to multitask.
Now you could have blanket statements like that, because it's kind of like Michael Eric Dyson on Bill Maher. You could be like, that shit sucks. And then I would cut away from
I
your
didn't want to do that, because what if it was an important question? Like, I didn't hear any part of it.
We were talking about this. Listen, just drop back to it.
Okay.
The story. Amani, just go. This story is tragedy.
The story is an absolute tragedy, and I wish that we all didn't have to hear it or deal with it or really negotiate it in any way.
All right. That's Imani. Anywho, Elon, America has issues with violence and dealing with other folks, and I do attribute some of it to the general rising rhetoric, the dangerous rhetoric of future President Donald Trump.
All right.
Did that kill your soul, Elon?
My soul's dead. I'm done. I should have sold that a long time ago. This is bullshit.
Sold out to whom?
Just like there were chances.
Just Fox News. You're gonna be the real Stacey Dash's next.
Oh my God! I was asked to do Fox News a shit ton of times, and I kept going, nah.
It ain't that deep.
Nah. Me going on there would actually pretend like you guys are a real station, and I would prefer not do that. We have a hot 5 minutes, Imani?
Do we?
Yes.
Well, good God
Can I have my last story?
Do you want some more news?
With your job being the person who serves up the news.
Serving up news.
Yes, I'd like more news.
So there's still a lot of shenanigans going on when it comes to trans people in bathrooms. Because apparently some people can't get their minds wrapped around the fact that trans men and women just want to use the bathrooms that other men and women use. It's not that big of a deal. There's not a whole rash of trans people lurking in bathrooms or trans women lurking in bathrooms looking out to sexually assault women, which is apparently some idiotic fear that a lot of people have. In some cases, I remember we talked about, I believe it was a law in Texas where they were they added a cause of action so that people who felt threatened by trans people in a bathroom could go and sue and then get like damages for it. So basically, it was this law that would allow people to go like trolling in bathrooms looking for trans people so that they can be like, I felt injured, and then they can go get money. It's just, they're just targeting trans people for harassment because, you know, trans issues are sort of like the next wave in the LGBTQ fight for equality, and a lot of people just aren't ready. They're not ready to handle it.
I don't understand why people are so pressed about where other people go to the bathroom.
I don't either.
I'm afraid of the idea, Amani, that if you feel threatened, that you can go and you can sue something. Because when you start going into the point of like, if you feel threatened, you remember that's how Zimmerman got away with killing Trayvon Martin. He felt threatened. Didn't matter that Trayvon was a kid that was unarmed, whatever. He felt threatened. He was scared for his life at that moment. And we've seen this happen various different times where people feel that they're threatened, and that's why they have to kill or they have to do something. And we know that like there was no threat against you. So if all of a sudden the laws are based or hinging on the idea of people feeling threatened, not that an actual anything happened, that you were assaulted or something like that, you felt threatened because like, and then you also have to know if someone is trans, which you don't know. You can't tell. So or like just anybody who you like, I don't know. F it. Or do you go find trans folks and then follow them around until they use the bathroom?
I was going to say that.
Exactly.
I was going to suggest that. Yeah, it probably implies a certain level of detective work where you simply just stake out a trans person and then you follow up behind them and then you say you were threatened and then you get money.
See, that's
is that terrible, unsavory? Just gives you the worst feeling in your stomach.
It does. It's a terrible feeling. I don't understand how that's okay. And like I said, it's scary. Anytime stuff is based on people's feelings, I immediately go, because I know too many people that we've seen it too many times that like your feelings could leave people dead. And now you can have it could be suing folks. You have people claiming they're unsafe. It's a goddamn bathroom.
Yeah.
It's a bathroom. What's gonna happen? And especially in women's bathrooms, there's like stalls. So like, are you afraid that the stall next to you, someone there might be someone who was not born specifically a female? Is that what you? Is that your fear? Is that you? Like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? Someone's next door to me. The fact is that like, Amani, maybe I'm nuts. I wouldn't actually have a problem like using a bathroom like if a woman was next door to me.
I mean, when I was in college, we had co-ed bathrooms, we had co-ed showers. I mean, we had stalls and partitions.
Right.
But what's the big deal? I don't see what the big deal is.
May I suggest that when you have problems understanding the rationale, think about how an 8-year-old would feel about it.
That's
I'm not kidding. Like, if you think about a lot of the way America's stuck is because Americans think a lot of things are just straight up strange or icky. But they cannot say icky at age 43, so then they make up all types of crazy reasoning for something that they thought was icky when they're 8, but they don't want to change the original thought. They just would rather build a big fort around it so they don't have the thing. And it just seems to be, I hate to say it, the only rationale is that grown folks still think trans people are icky because they're just not that bright and choose to be so.
It's not acceptable. And I really, and the fact is that if we live in a world where there are co-ed bathrooms and co-ed showers, that means there is no reason why you should give a shit who is next door in the bathroom with you, unless you are under assault. Which there's like, and you know what? If that's your fear, show me the assaults in bathrooms by trans people.
Right, exactly.
Give me the statistics. I'll wait.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure it's gonna be slim to none.
Yeah.
So let a motherfucker shit.
Good God, that's 4.
And you know what?
Yeah.
We black.
We black.
Shut it down.
Shut it down. Wow, just shut it down. Just so violent.
What? What? I ain't even say anything yet. Hey, they say the blacker the berry, you know the sweeter the juice. Time for this weekend blackness, so everybody get loose. Smell like something on fire, ayo, I think it's the roof. Smell like something on fire, ayo, I think it's the roof. It's like Blackfield,